Hello friends, welcome to Communication Skills for Everyone. In this channel, you're going to learn English language skills, personality development, vocabulary, and all-round development.
Hello friends, today let us learn Journey to the Interior, Margaret Atwood. Journey to the Interior is a poem written in the form of an extended metaphor of the poet. Margaret Atwood's entangled journey into her mental world, the mind, a complex and seemingly inaccessible region, is shaded by a wide array of thoughts and surrounded by the hilly regions of the unknown. Yes, it is too dangerous for a person to roam there without assistance. In this poem, Atwood talks about our regular journey into our mind in order to seek food for poetic thoughts or creative pursuits. Somehow, she attempts to keep her head during the journey, or she will be lost forever. So, Journey to the Interior begins with a description of a hilly region that seems flat from a distance. When the poetic persona gets closer to it, she finds a passage through the hills as endless as the prairies. There is a clip stopping the speaker from progressing further. During her travels, she has faced a lot of challenges. The location of this region is not easily accessible. An inexperienced mind can get lost due to the lack of reliable maps for guidance. Furthermore, she speaks, otherwise, the speaker thinks she regularly travels in a circle without discovering any further places. For this reason, it becomes challenging for her to keep her head. She can get lost in the dangerous region more easily than in other landscapes. Margaret Atwood's poem Journey to the Interior consists of two parts. The first part contains the description of the metaphorical landscape. In the following part, she talks about our realization after regular roaming there. The first section has three long stanzas, and the next part contains four short stanzas. There is not any specific line count in each stanza. Besides, this poem is written in the form of an interior monologue, as there is not any specific rhyme scheme or meter. It is also an example of a free verse lyric poem. Artwood uses literary devices in her poem Journey to the Interior. Extended metaphor, right? For example, the overall poem is an extended metaphor. Artwood's journey to her interior is a reference to her metaphorical journey into her mind. So let us simile. It occurs in the lines like the hills which thou make flat as a wall, become endless as prairies, sadden as a fallen log, etc. That it goes on. Imaginary. When we look at the first stanza, the poet uses visual imaginary to depict the landscape of our mind. The second stanza contains the use of tactile imaginary in a net of air and light and dark. So the repetition in the first stanza, there is a repetition of the word that at the beginning of a consecutive sentences. Again, there is also use of alliteration. It occurs like a wall, welded, point to point, square, surface, so on and so forth. It goes on. And this, even in this poem, the taps on the themes like the inaccessibility and mystery of the human mind and self-discovery. Throughout the poem, Atwood details her travel to the unknown regions of her mind by using several metaphors. She describes the mind as a hilly landscape with no access to point. The more she visits there, the more she becomes entangled in the web. Finally, when she understands the complexities of the mind, she warns readers not to follow her path. It might cause someone to lose his or her mind. In this way, Atwood depicts how accessible and mysterious, beautiful the human mind is. Another important theme of this poem also is like self-discovery. Atwood, being a veteran of creative pursuit, is well versed in dealing with her mind. She knows the nooks and corners of her mind's alleyways. If anyone needs some help, she is always there to help. Her knowledge of her own self as well as her mind gets reflected in this poem. Thank you for watching. Subscribe Communication Skills for everyone.